How's it going? With it being a Sunday, we have no war paint on. We have none of that bollocks. We're in fluffy clothing. We can play a game. So, hi. How are you doing? Congratulations on the first. That I nearly slurred the shit out of that and all I've had's tea. How's it going? Oh, I need my shouty screen up. Oh, that would have been terrible. Where the hell is it? There it is. It's fine. It's fine. I found it. Just asked her about it. I really like this song. I know I'm hiding it really well. Right, and then I want that down there. Pro streamer. Okay. I'll not chat a load of shite. I'll just get straight on with the game. Because that's what we're here for. Oh no, hang on. Ah. You did it! You did! Proud of you. Right, is everybody loaded up that needs loading? Oh! Oh, no. Bearded Dad needs loading up. Sorry, I know I should have done this earlier, but he starts streaming later. You forgive me, right? Hopefully. Do you know what it is? Because I'm literally like, come on. I can't find the button I need to press. That one, and then I need that one. Ugh. I'm sorry. And then I need that one, and then I need that one, and I'm done. Okay, I'm done. I'm sorry. I got an itchy face. Right, so where the fuck were we even up to? Can you remember where we were up to? I can't remember where we were up to. Okay, life is always good, especially when I'm at the controls. More life. Life is good. Made it in first. Only got here first because the wife is on D knitting duty. Oh dear. Oh. That is unfortunate. That's one thing I'm glad I don't have to do. Because, ooh. Well done on the second, Bearded. Thank you for the lurk, my dear. I appreciate you. Thank you. Joys of girls in school. Yeah. Yeah. I remember it. Back in my day. But thankfully, just the nephews, so don't have to worry about that quite too much. I also remember being the girl in school that ended up with them, but I had hair like down to my arse. So D-knitting was real fun. I think I sat once for 6 hours. Because my mum's neurospicy as well. So as soon as the job began, it was like everything that isn't skin and hair that is on your scalp is to be removed from your scalp. Probably the cleanest my head has ever been in my life. Right, I remember up here. So don't need to be here. Oh no, I think I've got a cat hair in my eye. The joys of cats. Anywho. Right, so we need to head that way. How do we head that way? Is it that way? Yes. No. That way. Through there. Gonna have to go round, aren't we? Yep, we're gonna have to go round the boat. In the boat! Done my shoulder in, and I don't know what I've done to it. I just know I've done it in. I was literally sitting minding my own business, and it felt like it popped out of socket, and it's not been right since. It'll be a hypermobility issue, no doubt. Oh! I nearly shit myself. Good God! I was just saying I've got a bad shoulder and you go and do that? Jesus! No chill. Shit.
Shield up!
I would've. Scared the shit out of me, you know? Fireball! Not nice, is it? Piece of shit. Oh no! Will you? Right, will you shoot that fucking thing, please? Thank you, lady. Oh, I can't go in there. It's dead! Right, where's the other one? That is not the time to pop up on the screen. How am I meant to get that? Like that? Ow. Fireball. Swing, swing. Oh, you sneaky bastard. Ow. Deserve that. Deserve that a little bit, yeah. Kill it! I'm stuck! Woo. No! Bad dinosaur! Shit. Ooh. I am not good at blocking this guy. Nope. Oh, yay. I mean, that. God damn.
So much for that boat.
Fuck the boat. I nearly died. That really hurt my shoulder. Just as I'm like, oh, I was sitting, I don't know what I've done to my shoulder. Shit myself. If I was 10 years older, that could have been some touch and go business, that mind. Fucking A. Anyway, moving on. Hello. Oh, she's seen some shit. Okay, sorry. Oh, I can grab it. I thought it was proper fucked.
An arrogant man once told me you can't change the past, only how it shapes you. I think he might be right.
Who's
It's
that
been a while
us?
since I've had a confidant. Would the god of few words lend me his ear now and again?
As long as I am needed.
I think she meant us. I'm going the wrong way. God damn it. I mean, it's not like it's anyone we can ask for directions, is there? Oh. Is that the only way we could go?
Those scrawlings must be Sather nearby.
Hello? What's that? Oh, you throw it. Yeah. So, pick it up. Throw it. Boom.
Lunda's ore.
Ow.
Be cautious. We know not what it does.
You really think she'd send us to get the bloody thing if it was going to kill us?
Yes.
Let's just take it back to her.
Can't believe I didn't know about these. But it's okay, because our friendly neighborhood God of War fan helped me out. Ah, okay. Aha, right. Move. Yay! Oh. I thought I did a smart thing there. Hey, Papa Bear, how you doing? Oh. Hi, Nomad. How you doing? Are you streaming yet? Yeah, hang on, guys. I gotta make sure. Because if Papa Bear's a streaming, I need to have his a stream up. Nope, not yet. Well, you need to work on streaming too, Mr. Nomad. I see no Papa Bear. I think we're okay. Whoop. No stream for me today. There's no need to be sorry. I'm just making sure I don't have you tabbed up. Sorry, that I have you tabbed up if you're streaming. But you don't need to apologise. Trying to figure it out. Well, if you need help, there's loads of people in all the different Discords. Like, there's our Discord. There's other streamers that come in here. They all have Discords. You can always ask in there. And everyone's always wanting to help people out. Very friendly. I hope you're not feeling too bad though, Papa Bear. Ooh.
Oh, fuck, scared the shit out of me.
That's what we did 2 minutes ago, eh? That went well. I'm a very jumpy person. You hide it well, mind you. Hide it well. I'll be compensating everyone for missing today with a raffle ticket on entry on Wednesday. Oh, bless you, Petal. I'm sure everyone will be fine with it, you know. You are human. You are now a working human. So you've got even more energy that gets used. Oh, but that's not... We're going to have to redo that because I need to see one of your clips. Wow, that word just disappeared from my brain. Twerking bears. How are you then, lovely? I am not too bad. I've hurt my shoulder. And I don't know how I've hurt my shoulder. I wonder what clip it'll be. Bloody, I'm going to find out what clip it'll be because I refuse for it to not work. Oh, yeah. Right. It'll get reset then. Like, your thing's just going to have repeated shout-outs. But tough. It's got to be done. I don't accept defeat. Oh, bitch. Fine, I'll give it 5 minutes, okay? Are they going to be timed? Yes. Oh, wow, that's real quick. Okay.
Sigil arrows won't work on this.
Well, then they're shite. Nah, it's not gonna work. I don't know what to do. There might be different speeds, possibly. Hello, Anomaly! How you doing? Thank you for the lurk, Mr. Maxwell. And outside of just being in a non-streamy kind of day, are you doing okay? For Papa Bear? That's gonna piss me off. It's gonna have to be something to do with these fucking arrows, isn't it? Bow things.
Sigil arrows won't work on this.
Shut up, woman. How are you doing, Mr. Anomaly? Oh, you had D&D last night, didn't you? Was good.
Sigil arrows won't work on this.
I'm gonna have to come back and do this because I don't know. Anomaly with extra noms. Hell yeah. I'm still hyped. Did something like epic happen? Playing animals with Raph, all in the VCs. Can't really hear, but wanting to come and say hi, so you know I'm here. I appreciate you, thank you. Enjoy your game. Tell Raph he smells. Oh, hanging people. Lovely. Ah,
More
Odin.
say their markings. Brunhild's companions can't be that far ahead.
Thanks. Right. Where's that feckin' bird? Bad Betty. Okay.
Look what they've done to this place.
Oh, didn't think that'd be a chain reaction one. Good. So, ooh, missed you though, you sneaky bitch. Sauce pet. It was a class night. Something epic happened. My character was dead basically, then got brought back to life. I wasn't expecting that next part. Apologise. We fucked up some arse. That was meant to be our boss. Fair. Fair. I'm glad your character came back to life, though. There's no, like, repercussions, are there? Or have you not discussed that part yet? And what are your characters, if I may ask? Smashed it with it. Of course he's dead, because he's a beast. I expect nothing less. Right, so you go over here. No, you don't. You do if I get the fucking aim right. Oh yeah! Suck it. There's a chest down there. I just saw it. It's a zombie apocalypse one set in present time. Ooh, okay. How the hell did you come back to life then? Do you still have the classes, or are you all just basically human? I'm yet to find out. I'm an ex-chef addict. Fair. Everyone's got the demons. If I ask questions, I might potentially spoil the story. I don't think that's possible. But tell me and I'll
They
stop.
don't look very friendly anymore, do they?
A skillet
Let
called
us put
Bessie.
it to rest.
We were talking about this last night. I can't remember if it was in VC or it was in VC. Cyber was on a game with Jack and someone had a frying pan. And I was like, I would be more concerned about the person that had the skillet or frying pan than I would the person that had like a knife or a gun. Samwise Gamgee fucked up half of Mordor with a fucking frying pan. Deadly shit. Yeah! It's explosive! Now you tell me. Fireball. Maybe not. Fireball. Yeah! I cast fireball. He did indeed. He did! Fucked up everyone. It was great. We're all human, but I was incapacitated and they injected me with something that woke me back up. Ah. Like crank. No.
We should get moving.
They're gonna explode on me, aren't they? Right, I'm gonna go get that chest because I feel like I need my axe. Get my axe. Whee! You do know now, every, like, Sunday that I get to speak to you, so I'm going to be like, what happened? Or however often you do it, it will be at what happened. I'll get proper invested. How did I not see this gigantic fucking thing? Jesus.
That's all Lunda's armour taken care of, as well as her odd little sphere. Should we return them to her?
Nah, gonna keep them. Mine, oh mine. It's the last Saturday of every month. Well, last Sunday of every month. I'm gonna be like, what happened? Was that a monkey? Ow, ow. Oh, we will happily tell you, I'm sure. Good. I'll get so invested. That went well. Couldn't remember the button. Ooh. Excuse me, sir. What? Oh! She can shoot through walls. How very Call of Duty of her.
Protect yourself!
Oh, I thought it was attacking us, man, you stupid cow.
Mike, watch out!
I know. Fireball. Oh. I deserved that one. I did. So there'll be an ouch. There'll be an ad starting in about 50 seconds. I will pause the game. I won't continue on just in case. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. I just want the shiny stuff. Leave me alone. Ooh.
The family crest of Kvasir the Wise. More like Kvasir the Inebriated.
Oh shit, oh shit. Getting shot.
Protect yourself!
Shit. Thank you for the lurk, my dear. I appreciate you. Haha. Woo. Bollocks. That wrong. Right, now I'll pause it. And then we'll just lurk and talk shite for 3 minutes. Roughly. Okay. Ow! I just pressed a button. Yeah. Did I press the right screen? I did. I got very confused. I just realised I did that right next to the microphone, so that would have been a bit like... I apologise. So has everybody had a good weekend at least? I know I've probably already asked that, but I'm asking it again. So if there's anything that you haven't mentioned or you want to mention or some bollocks, you go on right ahead. Do, 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 do. So far so good, just relaxing for the last bit. Good. I am glad. Ah, flipping hell. Do you think if I just like pop it off, it'll stop hurting? Cyber suggested I get put down. I think it might be onto something. They go far too fast. What, the weekends? I know. I know. Very, very fast. I've got these new little biscuit things. Go ahead. Forest fruit bars. Maybe if you was like me, potato head, you could just pop it off. I mean, I've got hypermobility, so that's one of the reasons it kind of felt like it popped in the first place. So maybe I could just pop it off if I was determined enough. Hello, you beautiful woman. How are you? Absolutely glorious divine being you are. Here dealing with bedtime for the mini-me's. That's fine. I know the score. Yeah, no problem. I'm going to try about this thing. You may... Try that again. You may recognise this song from video games such as Days Gone. And if you don't, you now know where it's from. That's not too bad. That's probably why my shoulder hurts. I do think like, wow, English is really good tonight. I do shit like that all the time. Crikey. Welcome back from the ads, everybody. You didn't miss much, just me talking shite and my shoulder blade hurting. The best way I can describe it is, obviously you've got your shoulder blade, right? Like, we'll do that way instead. And it's like someone's just shoved a little rock under the very edge of the shoulder blade, just left of the spine. It's like, I'm counting down the clock till my bedtime. How's your shoulder? Welcome to the injured shoulder unit. Oh god, yeah, your shoulder's still bad, isn't it? Maybe it's sympathy pain. We're starting to like... And now I've got sympathy pain. Is it your right shoulder? The shoulder itself's fine. It's literally the shoulder blade. But it's painful. And I mean, it doesn't help that I have cups of tea this big. Ooh. Have they offered you anything to help with that? Like acupuncture or something? That might help. Sorry, I felt like... I'm sure I've got a cat hair on my eyelashes or something. Ooh. Right, anyway. I'll get back to the game. That is a big cuppa. Yes, it is. And it'll stay hot the entirety of this game. Oh, no. This is really going to annoy the crap out of us. I'm sorry, everybody. I'll just play it with one eye. It's okay, I'll persevere. Right, killed that. Not that way. Oh, that looks like it's gonna fuck me up. Let's go. Hit what? Play with one eye and one arm. That I am, and that is like skills. It's my left. I've got a number for physio. I'll be doing that tomorrow. Oh, gold. Hopefully they'll help. I'm hit and miss with physio. Sometimes I think they're really helpful. Sometimes I think they do more damage. Just depends if you get a good one, I suppose. But I have hope for you, my lovely. See, that'll hurt them. Not what I wanted, but I'll take it.
It's explosive! Be careful!
I know, that's why I moved.
I think that's the last of them.
Damn it. I knew these souls.
I've seen
would have
people
thought
play
them
with their
smarter
toes.
than
There
to
are
meddle
people who
with
play with their
seething
mouths too.
magic.
Yep.
They were desperate.
And now they are
To like
dead.
breathe into special things. Yeah, like the pipe. I've
Good
seen that one.
riddance.
Yeah.
You blame yourself.
I mean, you use what you've
Do
got, I
not
suppose.
lessen your pain.
Let's
Take that
return
as you
to
will.
Boonhill. Unless you'd like to condescend more.
There it is. Wasn't condescending. It probably was condescending. Ow.
Just gorgeous.
Thanks. That will be me. Not because I can't move. But because I don't want to move. Yeah. Conserving energy.
I wish things had gone differently. But these Savor are at rest now.
Learn anything?
I mean, I suppose it kind of balances us out because it's my left leg that I have issue with now. Since the whole spine rooney thing. So, right shoulder blade, left leg, entire spine. So that's a middle ground, isn't it? Yeah, I'm almost balanced out. It's Butthead again, yeah! He just sits there dangling. My little best mate. Little Henry Winnett there. Boom, you little fucker! Come here.
From behind! Incoming!
Then do something about it. And that one. Just screams incoming at us and then lets us get shot. God. Ooh. Nice. Alright, I remember this bit. I remember this bit. Whee! Ow. Just did that, and we unlocked that. Yep, that's been unlocked. We'll go back through here. Oh, yep, done that bit. Okay. And then we just go whee! Jesus Christ! All the way home. It's unnecessary.
I know that face. You got something for me, don't ya?
Thanks for grabbing that for us.
So the subtitle said "don't ya," and she said "don't ya." I don't know why, but that kind of.
Lunda.
Right. Business time.
Hello.
Here.
Oh, well, thank you so much. Elf has been itching to get her ball back all dang winter.
That's
It's
brilliant.
her favorite.
What?
That is actually brilliant.
Good thing you were
We
so
found the
cautious.
pig dog's
Quiet.
treat.
He's right, Mimir. Show respect.
That's so
The squeaky
adorable.
toy could have been the death of us all.
And it nearly was.
Do not laugh.
It's hard not to, brother.
Try.
Okay. Okay.
He's so grumpy.
That'll mess some folks up.
Good, because I struggled to do that. I messed myself up quite a lot.
And Lady Freya?
Damn. Right,
Need
armor.
something special?
I kind of need the vitality, that's the problem. Got the belt. Was that it?
We got more lip flapping to do or no?
Ow. Ooh. The fuck did I just do there? All this time, there was easier ways of loading things up. Shut up. The whole time? Or just stop face blocking and go for the offensive. Well, see, this is the thing. I do go for the offensive. The offensive just ends up being my face. I have an offensive face. But I will try. I will try my bestest. Oh, well, if that gives us vitality and I put that in place of... that... Yeah, you show us those shoulders. Those shoulders. Oh, there's a skills, that's what I was thinking of. Right. Blades. Striking a grounded enemy with a grapple. I'll probably not be very good at that one. That one could be handy. And then what's this? Oh, silly. Okay. Striking an enemy during its attack with that does more damage. Ooh, what's this one over here? What's... Nyah. Adds a powerful finisher. Oh, well. I'm not very good at the pausing for new stance ones. Because, you know, button basher. That could be hard. Give it a bash. Right. Summon vines that grab an enemy lying down, release a cloud of poison. Root them for a longer duration. Oh. Great damage. Ooh, that's pretty. I'm gonna go for that one first. I'll get it, but I'll probably forget about it. Okay. There were more side quests here, weren't there? Yeah. What's that one? Speak to the spirit. Where is this
Lemire,
spirit?
I never asked how it felt to lose your head.
What would you have me say? Does it tickle?
Merely
Ow,
curious.
ow.
If you wish to derive some satisfaction from my pain, I'm afraid you'll be disappointed. Kratos swung swift and true, didn't you, brother? I felt nary a
Is it done?
scratch.
Shame.
Are
It
they
is
dead?
done.
Your friends are at peace.
Good.
And I'm sorry. Had I been here, I would have prevented this.
Do you think us lost babes, incapable of making our own choices?
No.
Clearly.
We made a mistake, but it was ours to make, not yours to prevent, even if you had been here.
Yes, you're right. Goodbye, Gunhild.
Goodbye, my goddess.
Kratos. Thank you for taking the time to help my people.
I helped no one. They were already dead.
Oh, but you did. You put their spirits at ease, and that has eased my spirit as well. I feel lifted.
Enjoy it. It will not last.
You're right.
Ever
There are
the
most
jolly
certainly
bastard,
other
isn't he?
corrupted sisters out in the realms.
Oh, wait.
Always
That one. Oh,
know how to end on a cheery note, brother.
see? That's what I said. Jolly bastard, isn't he? Right, add to compass. Was that all the side quests here? Huh. Right, first off, where are we? Because that would Fria's camp in Vanaheim. So if we're in Vanaheim. Yep, no more side quests in Vanaheim. Ow. Oh, I see a thingy thing there though.
Come here.
One of them
What did
plants.
you mean when you said Frey was not exactly a guest of the Aesir?
I meant by the time they burned him, he'd been a prisoner for some time.
Oh.
Set that aside for now. Come.
Ah, we need to sneak up on it. Oh, I thought I was going to get it there. That would have been sneaky. You bugger. How are you meant to sneak up on that then? Because that's the point. From up there. Okay. No. Thank you. Ah. Yeah, never mind. Look at it next.
That Lunda's armor? Hand it over.
Ooh.
I can fix it up right quick.
Ooh. Why is it still shining? Well, I can't get anything else from it, so... Right. Next. We have... Elven Sanctum, Eyes of Odin, or the Crucible. I quite like Alfheim. Well, if that's where the quest is, that one.
Alfheim? What's there?
There's still a few loose ends to tie up. We found a Hofgufer out in the Barrens, my lady. In terrible pain. We freed it, but there's another in turn somewhere beneath the Forbidden Sands.
A Hofgufa? I haven't seen one since I was a child. Lead the way.
Do you know what? I've just realised the volume's coming through the TV as well. So if my microphone's been picking that up, you'll have been having some very dodgy sound. I apologise. Ow, 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 ow. Nope. So we want to track that.
That armor
Yo!
looks like Lunda's design. I can fix it up for you if you like. Want something in particular?
Ooh. One of these would be good. Well, hang on. Sell first. Sell that
A
stuff.
fanny or crest? Quite the prize.
Haven't I already got these?
Whatever you need.
Sure, I already
Whenever
have
you
them.
need it.
Oh, puppies! I forgot about the puppies. Your Majesty?
Come here. What did you mean when you said Frey was not exactly a guest of the Aesir?
I meant by the time they burned it, he'd been a prisoner for some time. It was a mob of lesser Aesir, bitter and short-sighted, who tied him up and lit him aflame. Punishment for the sabotage they imagined him guilty of. Obviously, he survived. In fact, he used the opportunity to escape. But such an affront made war inevitable.
Freyr certainly wasn't the same after that. At least for a while. His carefree ways were replaced with nightmares, paranoia, and lashing out. It doesn't excuse what he said at my wedding, but I do understand where his anger came from.
Oh yeah, the giant jellyfish. Something about jellyfish that just freak us out. Don't know whether it's because some of them are technically immortal. Or what, but they just freak us out.
Freya, there's something I've always wanted to ask. What was it Hrimthur whispered to you?
Who?
Hrimthur, the son of Thormur, the stonemason, who disguised himself and built Asgard's wall.
Oh dear.
No more for now. Focus.
Like as if I'm gonna see through. Oh. Hello? Pick it up then.
Sort of a harp. I can play beautifully, you know.
I do not, and would prefer it remain that way.
Ah, okay. So it'll bounce off that. But what about the third one? See, that. I think we've got to do this from outside, possibly. Do you think? Should we have a look outside and see? No, maybe not then. gonna be something really obvious, isn't it? Right, so need that one as well. And then them two. Could it be the curve back, perhaps? No. Oh, it could have. Hang on then. Oh, I didn't let it get the other one. Fuck. At least I've got a good idea now. Too far. Try again. Yeah! Skills.
Do you regret it, Mimir?
Most likely. What are we talking
Most
about
likely.
in particular?
Giving up your body?
Do I regret exchanging my life for my freedom? That's a question I ask myself every day, my lady.
What about today?
Especially from my
Today?
backside.
Glad to
Ow,
be out in
ow.
the world. How else could I spend
Ow,
such
okay, ow, I
quality
take it
time
back.
with you?
Okay, okay.
Go on then. They're so pretty. Can I pet that dog?
Freya, can't you remember anything about what Dreamthrough the stonemason's son said to you after building Asgard's wall?
Oh, yes. One of the many occasions Odin saw fit to involve me in a wager without my consent. I wish I could say that was the worst of his husbandly habits.
What
That's
wager?
probably gonna
I've
be where the
told this
jellyfish
story,
is.
brother.
And now she may tell her own.
There isn't that much to tell. I knew nothing of it at first, surely because Odin didn't expect to lose the bet. A mysterious mason had to build the entire wall in 3 turns of the season.
2! It was 2!
And if he was late, he'd be owed nothing. But if he succeeded, he was promised an audience with the queen.
Enough talk for now. Be ready.
No, go, 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 go. Go on, you can do it. Nearly shit. I don't want to keep going, but I'm gonna have to. Don't like it. I don't like it. That sounds really lovely when you've got surround sound headphones on, just saying. Is this not where the other one was? Stop it. I think this is where the other one was. That's gonna be a big boy. I think this might already be done. But yes, yes it is. Yeah, we've already done this one. So this is where the big boy up there was. Will you stop it? I swear to God, that's horrible. Like, I don't know what it sounds like for yous, but I literally have like surround sound on the headphones, and it just sounds like it's right behind you. Lovely, lovely, really. Right.
Lads, I thought death had cured me of my appetite, but
Where is it?
damn if I can't stop thinking about the
There it
smell
is.
of Tyr stew. Awakened a few culinary cravings, did. Black pudding, haggis and neeps. Oh,
Porridge and honey.
what about you, brother? Any pre-Fimble winter foods you're aching for?
Olives.
The hell's an olive?
Much of the sand has been cleared away, but another storm rages beyond that pass, which must mean
Another
half-goofa.
jellyfish. Okay, half goofa. Jellyfish.
odd. It looks as though the Light Elves sealed off this section of the Barrens. Why?
Luckily for us, a very considerate goddess has enhanced our magic chisel, and we can unseal it.
My, that is lucky.
The Forbidden Sands lay beyond.
Contested territory, according to Bela. And another
on,
storm
puppy.
to endure.
I remember when Freyr and I traveled to this realm as children. The desert was healthy and full of life back then. I can't help but fear that era has ended for good and our efforts here are futile.
It's a fair concern. Healing this land will take more than a pair of singing half-goofa. But I have to believe, in the long run, we're doing right by Alpine. Well, best we start looking for a way underground.
Keep a lookout for a cave.
The fuck is that? Oh, I think it's okay. I'm not putting the puppies through it. Keep an eye out for a cave. I think we need to kind of go near where the beam's coming from. Is there an entrance there? No. Oh, entrance will appear there when the sun has gone down. About here. Looks cavey. Oh, that looks like a dead something.
The other half-goofa must be under there.
Well, yeah, that's kind of why I'm trying to see if there's a thingy. Entrance, that's the one. Right, no entrance. I did see something over here, though.
I see an entrance.
Here we go. So excited. Giddy up.
I hope Freyr will appreciate our
Yep,
work here
I
in
can
the
hear it.
desert. I wonder if he knows how poorly this realm has fared in his absence.
Aye. Hearing the Song of the Sands again is a rare privilege, even if it's only a solo act.
Or a duet, once this half-goofa is free. this architecture? It is not of the Dark Elves.
An abandoned ancient settlement by the looks of it. Built long before the Lightwell's creation.
More hive matter as well.
I'd say we're on the right track then.
Well, that's a no. Aha. Ooh. Kick. Bit over the top, okay. Whee! The fuck is that?
This kind of hive material is sensitive to sound. How odd.
That odd. Yes, that's a word. Person thinks it's a little bit gross. Just saying.
Yeah.
Ow, ow. All I had to do was scratch my face.
When
and
I
just
last
the
came
movement.
here with you in Atreus,
The
I assumed the
movement.
absence of Alfheim's light was an
Hurts.
aberration. I didn't realize it was covered by hive matter.
Aye. And as far as
okay.
the Dark Elves are concerned, it's that light column in the
if it-
center of the temple that's the aberration. Just look at how old some of these surfaces are. Far older than the Lightwell, or even our trapped half-giffer for that matter.
That's quite the empathetic perspective, Mimir.
Well, dangle from a burly god's backside for a few winters, and you'll find yourself looking for all sorts of new perspectives.
I can believe that. Ah. Whee! Like fucking Tarzan.
More hive, but
Oh,
denser.
Shiny surface too. So I'm gonna need this. Evident, right, so that's gonna... Oh!
Well, there you go.
Fair. But that's a nice open space that looks good for getting attacked in, isn't it? So excited! Oh, and a music change.
Enemy behind you!
Yeah, got that. Whoop! Get him, bitch! Get up!
Cover! The wee bastard's about to explode!
It's fine.
Enemies to your left!
It must be it, yeah.
Behind you! Incoming!
Yeah! Like a fucking exterminator. If this is what you had to do to, like, save the world, mind, I want everyone to know that you would be doomed if I had to do this. As soon as something sticky or slimy was involved, or there was cobwebs, I mean, climbing, obviously, because, you know, cripple. But cobwebs, dirt, no, no thank you. We'll just all have to accept our fate.
Poison at your back!
Where? Where is it? Oh.
Light elves.
Well, we're not done yet? Oh! No. That was a complete waste. Now are we done? No.
Behind you! Look out!
Coming! Above you!
Jesus
is the
Christ. Oh, you little shit.
Light elves don't often travel underneath the barrens, do they?
Territory changes
fucking
hands
know.
often in Alfheim.
Ow,
Or so
ow.
it appears.
Big Veer did mention that these ruins
Did
have
not deserve
historical
that,
significance
actually.
for the Light Elves. I assume
hurt.
they're only here to keep intruders out.
Well, at least they tried.
I suspect the corpse below would disagree.
No sacrifice in vain. Yeah, I imagine they wouldn't quite agree with that statement. Not sure if I missed anything up here because we're kind of instantly start. Yeah, we'll go. Okay. Ow. All I'm doing is sitting down. I've even got my arms resting, so I'm not like jerking my shoulder blades. Still hurts. Ah, okay, hang on. Will it? Alright, I need to turn it first. Hi-ya! Oh yeah. I'm gonna have to turn it to hit something else, won't I? Do you think? Oh no, it looks pretty enclosed. That looks quite enclosed. I feel like I can sneeze. Ugh, don't sneeze. I imagine that'll absolutely kill me fucking shoulder. Right. Oh, okay. So.
Good eye. Let's continue, shall we?
Thanks. Can I just jump now or? Oh. I knew that. Like, it looks pretty, but it also looks like I just don't want to be here at the same time, you know what I mean? Like, all the colours are very pretty. Everything else looks very deadly. We fly through the air with the greatest of ease. And not so young, spotting on a flying trapeze. Oh, fuck. Take that, foul beast.
Above you! Incoming poison!
And do something about it. That'll do it.
I hope freeing these Hofgufas will allow them to breed again. It was a dazzling display once. The skies of Alfheim filled with their song.
I imagine it's the lack of fresh light that's caused this pair to grow abnormally large. No use in having babies if there's nothing for them to feed on.
Trying to protect their children from a harsh world. I can relate.
Nope. Okay. Ah, right. Where's the shiny thing? Where there? I knew that. Oh, maybe not. Ah. Gotta be higher up. Can't get higher up. I think I might have been able to reach from there. Never mind. Oh, hang on. Where do you go? Jump, you duck, get. Right. Absolutely nowhere. Great, wonderful, thanks. It's gonna be something obvious, like it always is. See? Ow! I deserve that. So. Nope. Ooh, nope. Is everybody doing okay? Sorry, I know I'm not very chatty when I play this game. I'm sorry.
I wonder if these
Fucking
two
hell, how many of
comprehend
these
the choice
things?
they face once free.
What choice do you speak of?
The life cycle of the Hofgufa. In order to breed, they must pass on their light to their children.
And without light, they will die.
I suppose that's all any of us can hope for in the end. That our death has purpose. That we can live on through our children.
Well, that doesn't hit
Given
that
another
one,
chance.
So.
I know
Try
what
again.
you're
Nope. Maybe this way? I don't hit that last one, that's a problem. Nope.
There's some Twilight Stone.
Where the fuck are you looking? Not down there ain't. Alright, 1, 2. I don't see the third one. Of course not. I see them 3. Ooh. Nope, wrong arrow. Right, 1.
Good.
Ugh.
Almost there.
Giant jellyfish. Ugh. It's these ones that are going to complicate the shit out of us. Third one's behind that claw in it, and I can't get it. This is going to be fun. Oh. That's a bit easier. Right, and now I should be able to see it. Yay! Oh yeah, free the jellyfish.
Time to set it loose.
Aye, back to the surface then.
Free the jellyfish. The fuck?
Mind you, watch out!
Changing arrows!
Behind you! Incoming! Behind you, brother!
Fuck's sake, man.
Behind you, brother!
You didn't fuck off for that behind your brother bullshit, I swear down.
Behind you! Look out!
That was a bit excessive.
A pint.
Used in many of Freyr's blessings, I imagine.
Ooh, a whispering slab, okay. A massive fiery shockwave. Ooh. That'll be interesting. Ooh. Mind if I do?
The fate of these creatures. It reminds me of a story.
Does it?
There once was a blacksmith whose king commanded him to construct a box that could contain all the evils of the world. But no metal could hold such a power. So the blacksmith used the flame of...
Kratos. Is this a story meant to ease my grief?
Perhaps it is just a story.
Hello there.
I appreciate the sentiment, but,
Hang on.
well, your stories...
I've paused it. A pinky swear. Welcome in. How was stream? How did everything go? Hang on, I'm just going to close the tab while I'm here. Ooh. How was stream, good sir? How did everything go? How far did you get? Doot. And doot.
I was just messing up having time on that.
He ranted a lot, oh dear.
Terror power!
Could that be because he's not a fan of Abby? By any chance? Could that have been what the problem was? Abby eats a dick. She eats it, so she's like that. That's a pretty high number, man. That is a pretty high number. But what? How far have you got? Roughly, without. Is there a way to ask that question without giving spoilers? Mr. Maxwell was playing The Last of Us 2. I'm taking the opportunity to sneak a bit of biscuit. Oh! You're going after her now. Very good. Well, at least you get to enjoy this part, I suppose. Right. I'll get back to the game then. But welcome in. Thank you very much for the raid. Let's go.
What about my stories?
I wouldn't exactly call them a comfort.
There. Mimir is the better storyteller.
Now, don't sell yourself short, brother. You've come a long way from the days of laconic fables.
I don't know.
It's okay. Finish your story, Kratos.
The blacksmith's daughter was the key to unlocking the box. He died trying to protect her from the open it.
Well, at least it's a relatable
Damn.
story.
Yes, this is your hubby, my dear. Ooh, jizzed. Ah. Hello, Bella. Take that. You can join, Mr. Maxwell. No, get down. Get down. Get down. If you want to say hello, come up here. Right? And there you are. See? People can see you. Say hello. You're not getting on the chair though, because my shoulder's killing. Hello, Bella. Your breath stinks. Just saying. With love. With love, but your breath stinks. No. No. Right, you said hello. You said hello to the people. Say hello, people. Woof, woof. Say hello. You say hello. Well, that was an earlier hello. No. Say hello. No. Okay. No 3 is too many for me. Oh. I was like, no 3? Never mind. I'll just see myself out. Oh yeah, that door that was blocked off. Right. And then this way? Nope.
It appears we've overstayed our welcome in our fight. Yet again.
Oh, there you go. Oh shit. The other L.
On your guard, Kratos! Time to end this storm.
Now there's going to be 2 jellyfish. I don't even like the fact there was 1 jellyfish and now there's 2 jellyfish. But the puppies are still there. Yay! So's the sand. Am I missing something? I freed the jellyfish though, right? Holy shit, we still there. That wasn't meant to be that loud. Oh. Yeah. Yeah. When? Be free, jelly. Ooh.
If my stories are of no comfort, take solace in knowing you did what you thought was best for your son's safety. Even these creatures know. There is little choice for a parent. You are not alone.
I'm not, am I? And now neither are they.
Don't come down here. You're fine. You're welcome. Leave me alone. I said that no.
Incredible.
The Song of the Sands. Wow. Didn't know I could get misty. It's beautiful.
It's kind of gross. Not gonna lie. Kind of
Thank
gross.
you, Kratos. This land sings once more. We've done good here.
Okay. I was gonna say they did not just die. Did they just die?
No rush to leave yet, is there? Who knows what kind of adventures await us in our freshly lit barrens?
I went through all that fucking bother. Okay, they've procreated. All that fucking bother. Too far. Yeah. Oh, that was close. Nice. That was sheer dumb luck. Alright, well if there's one of them there...
A statue of my brother.
Yeah.
How quaint.
That's odd. The runes are dark.
One...
What purpose does all this serve, other than a testament to my brother's vanity?
Difficult to say without an inscription. But it looks like the elves built this place together.
Yeah, it's got the
light and
shiny
dark,
stuff.
which means this would have been their first act of cooperation in generations. A far cry from lasting peace, but perhaps it served as a monument.
3.
One that
Okay.
symbolizes the potential for peace.
Am I missing something? Yeah,
This
I was.
statue may have survived Freya's absence, but a truce clearly did not. Monuments are useless to those who ignore their message.
He didn't create a truce through diplomacy alone. His godhood.
Hello,
his very
Neon. How are
presence
you?
is what healed this land
We have
and
an
allowed
ad
peace
starting
to
in like
take root.
30
But
seconds,
once
just
he
so you know.
left, he had to have known what would happen.
Well, he had good reason to leave. Some jackass convinced his sister
Pop
to marry
goes
a
the
madman.
panda. It does indeed. I feel like my shoulder blades went pop. I'll get the shouty ready for when the ad is over. But how are you doing, my dear? How goes it? Oh, did that bit. No, that's not how I do it. I can't remember the buttons. Oh, I've got to carry the rock, I think. Oh, hello. Oh, would you look at it? Right, which direction?
You said monuments are useless.
Nice.
Why restore this one?
It was hidden for some time. Perhaps now it can serve as a reminder.
It'll go round
Aye.
or something?
Nothing reminds people of their history like chiseled, well-lit marble.
The ad will be starting in a second, just so you know. I'll pause. The ad has started. The ad has begun. 2 minutes. While we wait. How's everybody's Sunday going for those of us that are still here and not stuck in the ads? Oh, this really hurts. And I don't know how to, like, make it not hurt. Ow. Bella, stop it. She's protesting and biting her toenails. Well, her paw nails. You know what I mean? No, out from under there. Isha's proper. Come on. Bella. Here. Come on. Right. Lie down. Lie. Oh, she's pushing her luck. Everyone can see you pushing your luck, you know. They can. They can see you. Doing alright, hope you are well. I hope Mac's well. Best of wishes to you all. I don't know if you can hear us or not, but I'm not doing too bad. I've got a pain in my shoulder. But other than that, sound. I'm waiting for the minute to come up so I can give Neon his shouty, because Neon's clips are always awesome. I have no idea what I've done to this shoulder, you know. I know it'll be a hypermobility thing. But, like, how? I don't like it. It hurts. It's unnecessary. Ah, you can hear me. I learned today that I can move my shoulder more if I turn my arm outward before I lift it. It does, yeah, that does increase mobility a bit. I'll give you that. I've tried that. It didn't work. Welcome back from the ads, everybody. Ooh.
Fast moving bot. Hi. I want to offer promotion of your channel. Viewers, followers, views, chatbots. The price is lower than any competitor. The quality is guaranteed to be the best. Auto on, incredibly flexible and convenient order management panel. Everything is in your hands. Turn it on, off, customize. Go to dogehype.com. Yeah, can we get a ban in chat, please, guys?
I suppose so. Did you go check it out at least? Because that sounded pretty... And if you didn't, I guarantee they use that clip as their little slogan thing now. They'll just cut out the, like, can we get a ban now? They'll be like, see, look at this guy. Solid. Right. I'll stop waffling me shite. And get back to Kratos. I can make anything sound exceptional. I believe that. 100%. 100%. So have you seen that video? Well, it's like a reel. I think I saw it on Instagram. There's I think she's an Indian woman. I could be mistaken. But she's saying how she loves the English accent and stuff like that because it doesn't matter what you say, it sounds great. And then she's sitting and she's like, a mass fire broke out in London, murdering millions. But it sounds so lovely, doesn't it, when you say it in an English accent? You could probably do that.
Oh my God! Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm. What's the procedure, everyone? What's the procedure?
It was great, wasn't it? Absolutely fabulous.
Calm down.
Hello, Exile. How are you? Thank you for the raid. Let's have a look what you were playing. Da da da. It's a secret. For the clip, anyway. Ooh, Rimworld, how's it going? Ow. What way are you going with it? I will admit, I've only watched one person playing RimWorld, but they went like occultist or something. I've never played I've never personally played it. I watched someone else play it. Necrovarius has played it before. And like he's built up his little colony and he's built his people up and they're doing their thing and whatever, but he went like, I think it was some kind of blood cult or black magic cult he went. But thank you very, very much, Exile. Welcome in. For those who don't know who I am Panda Pop. I talk absolute shite. I play games absolutely shitely, but we have fun and it's great. We do RPGs. We're currently doing God of War. Shitely. I'm going to swap over to the game screen. Ow! That was unnecessary. I've got shoulder pain as well, if you wonder why I keep just occasionally going, ugh. That's why. I am weird, but I try not to be that weird on camera. That sounded... But yeah, I'm just gonna... Hi. Right. Let's go. So we take this one. Hello, Mr. Maxwell. With the tappy tappies and the dancey dancies.
These crystals contain their own light.
You're right. Normally we'd have to provide our own. Perhaps slotting a crystal on the opposite side could shed some light on this mystery.
Thank you for it, I agree. Wasn't there another... I know there's that one there, but there's like one back here. That's for that path, isn't it? Yup. Put you back. Oh wait, no. I need that one, because the other one's for the other path and then blah, blah, blah. I know what I'm doing. Sort of, maybe. If you squint. So that one lights that path, so I couldn't really get rid of that one. Or that path would disappear. That path might need to disappear. I can't fucking climb it. Is there... There's going to be some kind of shiny under there, isn't there? Hang on. Yep, there it is. Put you down. Pick you up. Put you down. Pick you up. Where's my axe? There's my axe. Hi, yeah. That went well. That went better. Ooh, flipping hell. Right. That did.
The ring of crystal shards glow.
Looks like we can read the inscription now as well.
Okay. I feel like we can die. I'm gonna die.
The light from the crystals. It is in the sand now.
Would you look at that? Freyr's gift endures after all. Or should I say,
unnecessary.
his present?
Oh, hey, yeah.
You are not funny.
He is a little bit funny. Ow. Anyway. Moving on. No. Oh, hang on, we meant to go through there now? I don't think we can. No. Back the way I was going. Oh, wow. I'm like, how the fuck did I get here again? Oh, yeah. Crystal. Itchy head under headphones, never good. I'd like to leave, please. Thank you.
Even when Freyr was actually here, the peace was fragile. Surely a bit of extra light in the desert isn't enough to make it last.
Before I met Faye, I could not imagine a life of peace. After her death, in our travels to Jotunheim, I found peace on my own. It remains my responsibility to make it last.
Perhaps the elves will find peace again one day, even without.
Is that a fucking heart?
His presence continues to guide them, whether they realize it or not.
It's like ancient graffiti. Wide open spaces in this game make me nervous. They make me nervous. Right. Then we need the C and the R. Oh, well that's that one, and there's that one. Hey, lady. Nope, too far away. Really? Really? Thank you. Hey, that should have worked. I was gonna say, there's no way that didn't work. Bloody thing was the size of a planet. Come on, puppies. Ow. Ow. I thought someone was going to jump out of it there. Woohoo! Game's like, you need health. You suck. You need health. Get that bird.
Brother, in my travels, I heard of a great battle in your homeland at a place called the Gates of Fire.
The Hot Gates.
You were there?
I wonder if I can reach it from here.
Is that regret in your voice?
I did regret not dying there for many years, but no longer.
Maybe peekaboo. Oh, a little bit higher. Well, he moved now, so. Close. I feel like that ladder just next to its head. Oh, I broke something. Oh dear. Sorry. Yeah, I can waste a lot of time doing this. Okay, no. Never mind. I'll find another way. That's gonna take a bit longer than I wanted to. So hang on, if that's over there. Ooh. Follow, puppies, follow! It's a shame you can't just jump up, even though, like, logically you should be able to jump up on that. There was nowhere in here for us to climb up, was there? Nope. Okay, there'll be another way to get it. And I'll do it, or I'll just wait until I'm not streaming and sit there for a good 20 minutes just throwing an axe at it. Because that is 100% something I would do.
I must say, I think we make a good team. With my brains, Kratos' brawn, and my lady's,
Wisdom, magic, ability to tolerate you for long periods of time.
I was going to say brutality.
That works.
That does work, yeah. He's not exactly incorrect, is he? What's that? What's that? Ooh. I see a turny mirror thing. Fuck you. Well, if you could shoot him, that would be great. Take that, foul beast. Where's the other one? Oh. Right, mirror. Nope. Maybe that one then. That made more sense. Thought it might have been clever. Should have known. Ah. Try to remember how we do that one. And failing. Like, I cannot remember what I hit it with. Not what I meant to do, but that worked. Nope, all that, okay. I can't remember how to undo them ones. That should have worked. Just being dick now. Oh. Oh well, never mind. I knew that. We get there in the end, even if the end takes a hot minute. Oh. Do you think maybe I've got a bounce from that mirror to that one? Nope, wrong way. I did a thing! Ow. I did another thing! Right. Chest open. Panty! Thank you very much. Welcome in. And I've got to try and stop doing that. I saw one person do it to that emote and that's it. It's just stuck in my head now. How are you? How are you feeling? Are you feeling better? Why are they not working? I'll try again.
Alright, challenge accepted.
Yeah, let's go, Sean, come on. Challenge not accepted, just so you know.
I broke it with my face. It was overwhelmed with your handsomeness, darling.
What?
It was like the vocals and the hair. I just can't, and it fainted.
We're off to a
Ooh, see if it'll work for Papa Bear this time. No, that's me. I don't want to shout myself out. Nope. Still a little depressed, but also PCOS is acting up, so inside pain. Oh, God, I know that feeling. I'm sorry, love. Ow. Have you got anything to help? I know there's not a great deal that helps with the second part of that. Oh. I'm sending you, like, squishy hugs. And chocolates and hot water bottles and stuff. I know that doesn't help much with PCOS pain, but heat sometimes helps. And as for the other part of that, if you ever need a rant, you know, I have terrible insomnia, so I never sleep. My inbox is always open.
There. Can we return to your story of
dead loud to meet you.
You said if he built
a bit
Asgard's
of
wall
heart
in
attack.
time, he was promised an audience with you.
Yes. Or so I learned one day when Odin burst into our bedchambers, raging and half drunk before noon, telling me to get dressed and go see what the Mason wants.
I've been sitting in VC a
So,
little trophy
off
few
I
hours.
went,
Currently have
not
my
knowing
microwave
what had
panda
truly
sitting on
been
the paint.
promised
Good.
or expected.
Very
Dagger
good.
stashed in my robe for emergency. And this Mason, this giant in disguise.
His name was Hrimthur.
He just smiled to see me. And as you said, he whispered in my ear. He said the
I think she
Aesir
quite
had
enjoys
killed
this
his
by the
father,
sound of it.
and he needed to know that one day they'd burn for
Another time.
it. A
We
light
must
elf
fo-
statue in the desert. Odd.
On top of ancient elven ruins? I'd have to agree.
I think she was quite enjoying that whisper in her ear. Just saying.
So, Freya, if we might finish your story?
Yeah.
Hrimthur revealed to you he wanted revenge on the Aesir for killing his father.
Yes, he did. I pointed out I was Aesir now too, technically. He gave me a look, as if he somehow knew better, and continued. He said he'd built in a structural flaw behind the Asgard Realm Tower.
I knew it! How do we make use of it?
We don't. He said Surtur would know what to do. And if Surtur's approaching Asgard's wall...
Then it is already Ragnarok.
Aye, blast it.
I'm assuming
hope
that
it might have
first time
given us
chat I
another
saw
way.
was some form of new viewers thing. Because it's not popping up on my screen. It just says first time chat and then none. So if new chatter, you weren't in fact a robot trying to sell me stuff,
Freya, I've always
please feel
wondered,
free to talk
why
again.
was Freyr so revered here so quickly upon his first arrival?
Well, to begin with, it wasn't his first arrival. Very few know this, but Freyr was one of the earliest visitors to Alfheim, back in the dawn of realm travel.
Not now.
However, if you were a robot trying to sell me viewers, I have the best viewers that there are, so like go suck a fart or something really disgusting. Ugh.
Jewelry.
Oh? Put it on one of my horns. Let's see if I can pull it off.
No.
He doesn't have hands, he can't pull anything off. Just saying. Can we open this? Oh, we can open it. Are we gonna die? Probably gonna die. Woo!
Yeah.
Adequately smashed.
An elven library.
An archive of knowledge.
No sign of the Light Elves.
For
Can't
now.
help myself. I literally
Maybe
heard
they've
Elven
left for
Library and
the
I was like,
day.
oh!
We can browse at our leisure.
I really hope nobody picks a fight with us in here, because, oh, look at that, it's so pretty. Oh my goodness. I'd just stay here. Ow. Okay, I won't. Aha, take it back.
So, these are the Valine schematics, eh?
You know of him.
Aye. One of the most gifted dwarven smiths around. Until he developed a conscience, anyhow.
Going
These texts
up.
alone are not enough to end the Elven War. But restricting their access only serves those who wish to prolong it.
Taking a page out of Odin's book.
Aye. Quite the advantage for the Light Elves.
Well, you know, as soon as I do something, this place is going to fill up with things and I'm going to have to punch them. Ooh, an amulet fragment. Oh, well, that looks pretty, like, once you've opened it, punchy business is going to go down, so I'll get this first. What was that, Shadow?
This book is sealed, but there is an inscription. The console.
Big Veer spoke of an exile of the same name. Odds are he'd like a gander at that particular text.
Fucking paranoia. Oh. Ow.
All this knowledge of their ancestors, their shared history, poetry, it's just sitting here.
Yep.
God, what a waste.
I mean, if you got a backpack, I'm not opposed to tidying up. We're gonna open this door, isn't it? Yep.
Ah, it appears the librarian would like a word.
Knew it.
Lata Framborg.
Sounds like she wants that journal back.
Gosh, does.
No.
Oh, fucking bollocks.
Shield strike!
Well, I went to, but I decided to jump first because I'm clever. Fireball! Oh shit! Gonna die, gonna die, gonna die. I did shield strike up too far away. I'm gonna die! Yep, there we go. Thank you for the lurk! Shit, bit. Will you just...
Come on, get up, brother!
God damn. That's fine. Ow! Subs, followers, viewers, chatbots. Price is guaranteed to be the best. I don't care. I have the best already. And all I had to do is be a little bit weird.
Shield!
No, all it's got on mine, on my screen, I have first time chat and then nothing. That's why I was like, if you're a robot, fuck off. But if you're not, please feel free to say something. Have I missed something else? Oh, hang on a minute. So why is it not popping up on my screen? But I can see it on the tab that Mr. Maxwell has open. Hang on. I fixed that. Because that's naughty. Why wouldn't it show up on my chat? That's just stupid. Do this. Thank you for pointing that out, no Neon. I honestly thought it had already gone. There we go. Oh. Shit. Oh, no, wrong. Oh, shit.
Are you okay?
No, not really. Fuck. I did the thing. I'm gonna die. Yep. Right, lady. You're a biatch. Just saying. You are not a very nice lady.
Use a shield strike, brother.
Oh, shit. Sugar plum fairies. Gosh darn it. You don't have any here. Oh. We'll get it. We'll get it. Maybe. Right. What weapon do I have on? I'll swap with that one because I prefer that one. SPF? Huh?
Shield strike.
Ooh, you bitch. I tried to shield strike. Woo! Ow. Freya, do something helpful or fucking move. Woohoo! Oh, sugar plum. Shit!
Take it off, man.
I'm trying to shake it off. Oh, balls. Ah!
Use a shield strike, brother.
Look, there's only so many fucking roly-polies I can do. Jesus Christ. Can you please stop being so brick hard? That would be fabulous. Evidently. Oh! Oh shit. Oh no! 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 Bollocks. Oh, thank God. Take food now, Claus! Don't you dare. Don't you dare.
The Alpha!
Shit. Ha! Ha!
Los Alpha. Lord, Megivita. Helga Brotina.
She thinks she's protecting them by hiding all this knowledge away.
Our ally wishes to read this journal. We are taking the book.
Oh. Nice lady. That happened.
I'm impressed. Thought you were going to end her.
When last
No,
we
she
traveled
ended
here,
me.
after Faye passed, I killed an elf of great importance. The ramifications were dire for his people. I do not wish to make the same mistake twice.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why I went easy on her too. That's unbelievable.
Freya, earlier you mentioned that Freyr was one of Alfheim's first visitors. Care to elaborate? I wasn't in these lands at the dawn of realm travel.
Well,
Enough. We will continue later.
I mean, surely you can
So
just
you
let
just
them
refuse
speak
to pick
while
a
they're here.
favourite poem? That's uncharacteristically indecisive of you.
I have a favorite poem already. One from my homeland.
Do you believe him? I don't believe him. Well, that's not going to work, is it? Exactly. You burn that. And then come back.
What is that?
Whoa! Jesus!
Phantom! Rune magic! Aim for the runic core!
Bloody hell, look at that thing!
It's vulnerable when it glows! Ow! Attack!
I fucking am! You have to tell me twice, Jesus. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? There we go. Ooh!
Nicely done! Keep on it!
I'm trying. Helpful. Oh, I'm gonna die again. Oh, he just got out! Damn it! Stop trying to kill me! Oh,
Need to take
did
out
it?
those springs, brother!
What the? Oh. Ow!
That's it!
I don't know where the other ones are though. I'm gonna die. Whoop!
Nicely done! Keep on it!
Shit.
Come on, Kratos! Off your back!
God damn. Ow. Ooh. Right, so as soon as I go that way, I'm fucked. So, is there any health anywhere? Health would be great. I should have known because the puppies haven't followed us. Well, suppose just go get my butt kicked. Oh, hey. Bird. Yeah, look. I will probably die, but at least I got the fucking bird. Oh, this is gonna be awful. Okay. Are you ready, kids? Death is a natural part of life. It is. But the frequency that I die and come back to life, I should be on supernatural. Hello? Room service.
What is that?
Go away.
Room magic! Aim for the runic core!
You aim for the fucking runic core. Jesus.
Attack!
It's very bossy. She started.
Core is weakened!
Nicely done.
I hate this boss. Yeah, I'm not. Can't say I'm a massive fan myself.
Give yourself an opening. Don't waste it.
I am. I think I'm doing standing and looking pretty. Jesus. I mean, he is standing there and looking pretty, but that's not what I'm doing. Nope, not the way. Leave me alone. Let me tell you something. Oh, tower.
Destroy them!
Yes.
That's it!
Yeah, that's one of them. I don't know where the other one is. Right. Boop. Nope, you got in the way. Fucking stay still.
Close in! Attack!
Whoop. I feel like we got off on the wrong foot. Oh my goodness! Oh, nope. Terrible misunderstanding. Nope.
Now, attack!
Run.
Nicely done. Keep on.
Make up. Right. Where? There. Would it have been quicker to climb up there? Probably. Where's the third
Need
one?
to take out those springs, brother.
I don't know where it is. Hello. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo.
Close in! Attack!
It's more afraid of you than you are of it. That's what people say about spiders, but I have literally been circled. Like, you know, people when they circle a fire and dance around it and stuff. I've been chased and circled by spiders. So I beg to differ. Hey! I'm hitting you in the face! Fucking bitch! Ah! Got you. Fucker. Oh. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Did I go out of the zone? Have I got to start the fight again? Oh. When you charge at things, scream in terror because you ran out of options. It's like that. With a spider. It's coming at you. I know. They do it all the time. All the time. I mean, to be fair, even if I was like itty bitty, which I'm not. I'm waiting for bearded dad or Raffy to speak up. I'm not itty bitty. 5'7" is a perfectly respectable height for a hobbit. But if I was like, you know, and this giant thing ran from terror at the sight of me, I'd probably get a bit cocky. And I'd probably chase it as well, if I'm honest. Taller than my wife's a perfectly respectable size. Ooh. Sorry, I need to adjust how I'm sitting. Are your spiders different in the UK? Probably not. I mean, they're not Aussie spiders, but oh no, oh, I don't have to start it again, thank God. I would have been so mad. Oh shit, drop my axe. Ah. Fuck off.
It's vulnerable when it glows.
Yes, I know. I'm vulnerable when it glows. Right, where is this third one?
Hurry before it recovers.
I don't know where it is. It's not going to be up there because when I go up there. Where is it? I think it might be around the other side. Oh, it's right there. I knew that. Hiya! Oh. Mostly smaller and not as dangerous, but they are quite obnoxious and act like they own the house. They do! They do act like that. And it's rude, and I don't like it. Mainly because I just don't like spiders. I'm getting a little bit better. Like, I don't, like, try and kill them or anything. I'll do my best to just put them in a cup or a glass or something. Unless they're really big, then they go in the hoover. Missed. Oh, got it. Alrighty. I must lurk harder and a way to eat foods. Much love. You can do this. Believe in yourself. Thank you. Enjoy your foods. I'll do my best. Don't let that take away from what I just said. Why don't you pick on her? You don't pick on me for? She's hitting you in the face too. Oh, God. Now I'm done for.
More is weakened.
Nicely done. Keep on it.
Ah,
fuck.
Well, you have to, because I got all the way there and then I died. Believe in yourself. I believe I will die. Right. Got further this time, so maybe... I don't know how many times this is. I'm going to say third, but it's probably not. This time's the charm!
What is that?
Big bastard. What do you think?
Phantoms! Rogue magic! Aim for the runic core!
Bloody hell, look at that thing!
It's vulnerable when it glows!
Yes, so you keep saying.
Nicely done! Keep on it!
Now, attack!
Swish, swish! Swing, swing! Run away. Ow.
Frost in my neck stump.
Ugh. There's frost in his neck stump. Lovely. That's really nice. Come on then.
Take yourself an opening. Don't waste it.
Right. Thingy. Just know where it is now.
That's it.
Oh, let's try.
The Alpha.
Take yourself an opening. Don't waste it.
Now, attack the room.
Is. Got it.
Attack!
The Alpha.
Close in! Attack!
Ow! Attack!
Take this! Oh, you sneaky bastard. Right. Second one. Like it. It's gonna get up. Yep, it's gonna get up.
Nicely done. Keep on it.
Boom! Woo! I mean,
Close in! Attack!
Now, attack! The Alpha.
come on. Come on.
Above you. Watch out.
Kratos, the springs! Bring them down!
Right.
It's over! Time to put it down!
What am I doing? Oh.
Well, yet another gift of Fimbulwinter, I suppose.
I was like, do you remember the fella that played John Coffey in The Green Mile? I can't remember the man's name. Massive fella. He was in Scorpion King as well. He's been in loads of other things, but they're the two things I really like remember him out of. Huge fella. When he had the basketball and just with such ease, he just does that and the thing fucking explodes. That's what that made me think of. Right. So Which arrows have I got to set to? Right, I need them ones. Ooh, there's going to be an ad in 1 minute, so hopefully... Didn't work the way I expected, hang on. Right, that's lit. Nope. Nope. Damn. Hang on. Try the other side then, maybe. Gotta find a way to set that on fire. Definitely not that side. Okay, back on this side. Do you mind? Right, the ads are going to start in about 30 seconds. I will actually go on to a Be Right Back screen for these ones. Because I need to fucking adjust how I'm sitting or something. Because ouch. Yay! Just in time. Okay. Oh, gosh, right. Be right back screen. I'll see you guys in a minute. Enjoy. Hello. Ow. So, let's get back to it. So we can do that now, which I believe I did from up here. Ooh. Yep, got the axe. Right, so this should... Oh, yeah. Now you come over. They're so pretty. I'm gonna have to get some kind of... Because you know how you can do photo mode in this? I'm gonna have to get some kind of like screenshot of them or something. Because they're just such pretty creatures.
Well, lady, I was curious about some of the flora we've encountered on our travels.
And you will remain curious. It's not my job to teach you everything.
You did it!
Look, I was just asking.
I knew you would. I just knew you would.
Say that again.
Thank you very much. I haven't even looked at the map. Hang on. Excuse me. Right, so... Desert door... And whatever that is. Puppies! Oh my goodness. This shoulder pain makes me want to swear.
Earlier you mentioned that Freya was one of Alfheim's first visitors. Care to elaborate? I wasn't in
You'd
these
think,
lands
considering I
during
have
the
chronic
travel.
pain, so 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, I have pain.
That all the
You'd think I wouldn't give a shit about this, but it just makes us
one
mad.
of them appeared in Vanaheim.
Which way was I heading?
Her name was Gur.
I don't give a fuck what her name was. I was looking for the map. Can't go by much.
And she came offering to teach us the secrets of traveling between realms using Bifrost light. Freyr became immediately infatuated with her. He always yearned to wander, and along came someone who could truly show him that thing. So, wander they did, exploring the world tree from root to branch. But one day, it came time for Girth to wander away.
Hold. We will finish later.
Aw. I was almost tempted to not get off the fucking platform thing there. Right, so we go there, and then we go... Oh, fuck. And then we die. Whoop!
Behind you, look out!
Right, instead of saying behind you, look out, do something. Not that. That is not helpful.
Changing arrow!
Oh, fuck. Die. Die. Shit, Saki. Mom, mushrooms!
Brother, get up!
I can't get up, I died. Round 55. Fight. Right, switch. Oh, you fucking... You're a dick, you. Oh, fuck you. Piece of shit. Oh, not dead, not dead, not dead. Fuck off, tell us behind us and just fucking do something. You should just stand there like a wet fish. Not that fish, stand. Where's that one? Nice. Ow. Oh, biatch.
Light elf architecture. Massive.
So we're gonna boot that off. Ooh, got a bit of a drop there, sorry. I mean, not that it was my fault, but still sorry. Ooh, ow, shoulder pain, ding, dang. Walla walla bing bang. Oh, no. I don't like them.
A token.
A badge of honor. The elves made a few of these. They'd hang them up outside their dwellings. Show their support for my brother.
So we're gonna die.
That's
just
all
so you
my
know.
brother's did.
Well, we hang on to them?
If Rhea didn't bother taking them, he wouldn't wind up selling them to the dwarves.
Oh, there's more than one. And I'm down. Yep, I'm down. So we'll come back to that. Because Jesus. I'm only... Oh, I've got full health. Should we try again? One more time. When I die again, then we'll go.
The Alpha!
Cast fireball! Shit!
The Alpha!
Thank you, brother!
Okay, so I'm taking on this one then.
Kratos!
Ow.
Are you okay?
No.
You're on fire, Kratos!
Fuck off, really, Emma?
Kratos, we need you!
So I would have survived that if I wasn't a dick. My bad. Right.
Incoming right side!
Whee! Oh, I walked into that. Yep.
Come on, Kratos!
Oh, God. Right, we'll come back for this one, because I feel like I'm just going to spend most of my time doing this now. I'll mark it on the map. Because my shoulder's starting in the amount of times that I'm like, Urgh. Oh, it marks itself. Good. This way, Freya. Through the door. I mean, I'll probably die through the door as well, but, you know.
Something is coming, and it's not happy.
Fuck's sake. Ugh! My goodness! Yeah, one of them. Woo! I went flying, okay. Fireball, bitch. What do you mean here it comes? It's right there. Oh.
I felt that one!
Did you really? Ow. Up. Oh, I deserved that. Now, how come there's no health things appearing? That would be friendly. That would be nice. Ow. Ow. Oh, no! there anywhere that'll give me health? No.
Come on, Kratos.
Ah. Got halfway down though. Ow. Right. This time. Hopefully. Nope, nothing that'll give me health. Fabulous. Love that for us. Right, okay.
Something is coming, and it's not happy.
Nope.
Careful!
Thanks. Wouldn't have thought of being careful if you hadn't have said anything. Clearly.
It's about to charge!
Whoop. Ow.
Watch out for the scales!
Ow. Ooh. Fireball. Ow. Whoa, no.
It's charging!
Thank you for that observation. Shit.
Get up, brother.
Nearly.
Wow.
Shut up. I'm trying, okay?
Something is coming, and it's not happy.
I fucking know it's not. Whoops.
Steady your guard!
My guard isn't very good. Have you not noticed? Ow.
Fall back! It's charging!
Oh, ow. Yep, felt that one.
Yelpa!
Deserve that. Didn't so much deserve that one though, that was me. How am I meant to dodge if I'm stuck against the wall? Oh, bollocks. Woman? I know. Oh, bollocks. Right, I'm gonna have to. One more. Come on, we can do this. If I don't do it on this one, though, I am gonna save and raid. Because, like, I hurt. I'm getting sick of getting my ass kicked. No, mainly just I hurt.
Something is coming, and it's not happy.
Nope.
Nasty
Ooh.
All right, brother.
Would be if I stop pressing the wrong button. Ow. 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 Ow.
This is a fine mess.
Next time. Because I hurt. And I'm getting annoyed at it now. And I want to raid Indy. Lol, you died. Lol, lol, you died. I did. Quite a lot. But less than Crash Bandicoot, so that's a win. So hang on. Because it is Indestructible's birthday. So I want, to try and raid him before he goes off. So, chat screen. Apparently so. Let's have a look. See. Just shouldn't have died. Well, he probably wouldn't have died if someone else was playing the game. Hi, Fang. How are you? Right, where is Indy? Right, so
but somebody didn't answer my one question.
Kratos is OG. Kratos you're playing is Dadtos. Ah. So it is Indy's birthday today. So if we would be kind enough to you know, happy birthday, and just say hi, I would appreciate it greatly. Because Indy's lovely. But as for us, thank you very much for being here with me this weekend. Thank you for tolerating my wonderful gameplay of Dad Toss here. And I'll see you in chats mainly, and then on Thursday I shall see you again. I don't know what we're going to play though, because I know I'm meant to be playing Crash, but I am tempted to move Crash to a Saturday and continue with Monster Hunter because I really, really enjoy it. But yeah, until then, I shall see you guys later. I hope you have had a fabulous weekend. Dad Toss does sound a bit dodgy. I know as soon as I said it, I was like, oh, that's going to get picked up on. I may be in a VC in a little bit. I don't know. I'll have a peek, see what's what. But yes, until next time, my lovelies, thank you for being here. I appreciate you all greatly. Love you and all that jazz. And I'll see you later. Goodbye.